We got a good question today in relation to pinning kits and lock pins. Let's dive in.
When is it better to use OEM pinning kits instead of universal pinning kits? Not including special ones like Medico, SFIC, etc.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for the question. It's a great question. It's a pretty common one that we get asked around here. And so I want to answer it very quickly and simply. And then I'll kind of build my case as to why. And the simple answer is you can use a universal pinning kit on just about every standard style lock that you're referring to, except I recommend not using a universal kit for quick set pins. So now that I've given you the answer, I now want to kind of build my case a little bit. And I want to first start by just talking about universal pinning kits. So first up, there are two different types of universal pinning kits out there, a 3/1000 and a 5/1000 increment pinning kits. The 3/1000 is better. Now, if you want more info on that, I'll put a link in the notes to a video where I go into depth as to why I believe they're better. Universal pinning kits are a 0.115 inch diameter. So any lock out there that is using a 0.115 diameter pin, technically you can use a universal pinning kit. Since universal pinning kits either come in a 5/1000 diameter or a 3/1000 diameter, meaning every 3,000 increment there's another pin. So for example, on a 5/1000 pinning kit, if there was a 0.240 pin, the next length would be a 0.245 length pin. So on a 3/1000 increment pinning kit, if there was a 0.195 length pin, the next size up would be a 0.198, which makes them really good for working with miscut or worn keys, because it's going to give you the ability, if you need to go up a little bit or down a little bit in the length of the pin that you need, well, it works out really well. And probably one of the most popular reasons why people like universal pinning kits is because they are less expensive, right? They're typically right around or a little more than just a one specific OEM manufacturer pinning kit. And the actual lock pins inside of them are typically about half the cost. So that's really a big reason why the universal pinning kits have always been so popular. So I just gave all this great stuff about universal pinning kits. Let's talk about when is it better to use a OEM kit. So I have two main reasons for you here. And the first reason has to do with the key blank material. Now, universal pinning kits come with brass lock pins. So if you're using brass keys, well then using brass lock pins is fabulous. It's great. Go for it. But if you're using nickel silver key blanks, then you're going to want to be using nickel silver type pins. Now, they don't make those in the universal pinning kits. It'd be kind of cool if they did, actually. But instead, you're going to want to use the OEM or OEM type pin of the like material. For a good example on that is a lot of times Schlage key blanks will be nickel silver. Well, then if you're using a nickel silver key, you're going to want to use nickel silver pins for the wear issue. And the second reason I want to give you, probably more important than the first reason, is that if the universal increments of pins are different than the OEM pin lengths. Let me give you an example, quick set. So if you look at this chart here, you'll see that the number 1, number 3, and number 4, and number 6 bottom pins are not perfect with the OEM pin lengths. So if you look at the number 1 bottom pin, right, the OEM pin length is a 0.172, and the 3000th universal pin kit is a 0.171. So it's only off by a 0.001, but as time goes on, especially with master keying, that can cause a problem. And that's also, for example, a good reason why I say the 3000th pinning kit is significantly better and what you should be using instead of a 5000th, because the 5000th pinning kit, you're going to have to choose from a 0.170 pin or a 0.175 pin, which leaves the OEM length right in the middle, and it's going to cause you all sorts of problems. So as you can see by this example, you looking at Quickset, it's better just to use the OEM pins over the universal. And you know what? I said there's 2 reasons. I want to give you a little extra one just for the kicks and the giggles of it here. And I'm going to continue to pick on Quickset. And so if you look at these 2 pins here, so the one on the right is going to be the OEM type style of pin for Quickset. You can see that both sides are actually tapered. To the naked eye, or maybe from your view, you look at it, it's like, oh man, that almost looks like a top pin, not a bottom pin. Where on the left, you're going to see a picture of a universal pin, which is your real standard looking, slight taper on one end, big taper down on the other to a point. And so you can kind of see a difference there as well, which is just a little bit more evidence, so to speak, as to why you want to use Quickset type pins over the universal. So there you have it. I really hope I did a good job answering this question for you. But I would love all of you watching. What is your take? What is your opinion? And what else could you add to this conversation? Let all of us know in the comments below. I look forward to reading them. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey, before you go, I want to make sure that you know to include the hashtag Lockboss when you comment on our videos, and you automatically get hooked up to win free stuff that we give away each and every week. Tune in live here on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and find out who the lucky winners are. I'm rooting for you. We'll see ya.